Runaway robot.
Well, hello, chat. How are you guys? What's going on? So we're going to chat for just a little bit here. And by just a little bit, I mean until I am too tired to continue or you guys get bored and decide to leave. But we'll talk. We'll talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. If it's more D&D stuff, we can definitely talk about that. If it's... And actually, you know what? A couple of you guys are in here right now that are from the game, so we'll talk about that. I was just talking to Rob about it, and I'd mentioned it to Professor Saccharum as well. So I'm gonna mention it here. So CB and Professor Saccharum, I'm considering changing the way that experience is earned, and I'm the more I think about it, the more I'm totally sold on this idea. We move how experience is earned through combat and make it more goal oriented. What I would like to do is each character sets up, as I move my books and shit, each character will have a slot of 3 goals that they're attempting to complete at any given time. Long-term goals, short-term goals, or whatever. This is something they're trying to do. And they'll tell me these things, and they'll tell the group. We'll discuss it at the beginning of every session. And based on the difficulty of how I think these things are going to go, I will assign them an XP value that the characters aren't necessarily going to know. Much like how combat is. You don't really know, unless you're really metagaming, how much experience you're going to get out of a combat situation. So they're going to have a set of 3 goals that they're going to come up with that will be interchangeable at the end or at beginning of sessions and stuff like that, and they will earn experience based on completion of these goals. May I see the cover of that book? It's a shiny manual. Yeah. This is just the PHB. This is your player handbook right here. Got a big old giant on it and a guy fighting it. Then I have the monster manual's got a beholder on it. Big old scary eyeball boy. And then the Dungeon Master Guide has a lich on the cover right there. There's the boy. So, new goals for every session. No, not necessarily. So, the way that experience will be awarded is based on the difficulty of said thing. Let's say you have a long-term goal that you are pursuing, right? You have something that you want to pursue over a long period of time. Obviously, the difficulty of that is going to be much larger than some of the short-term goals. The reason that we'll be talking about them before every session is that, let's say something more immediate has taken your attention and you need to put that goal in the back burner. It doesn't just go away. It just is not, it's not necessarily what you're looking at right now. And don't always think about in short-term goal type things either. It depends on what... The reason I'm doing this is because it's a much more role-play oriented type of progression. So in addition to having your 3 goals, there will also be 3 group goals that you guys will be pursuing and you will get rewarded for as well. Do I have a world map for my world? Can we see it? Hopefully I didn't turn this shit off already. I have a partial world map. It's not completed because it actually changes every time we start adding new people and doing new things. So hang on, let me go ahead and pop this bad boy open real quick and make sure the lighting is done. Global illumination. So what we're looking at now is over in this area. I'll pull it up here in a second. I know it's just my face right now. I just want to make sure I've got it all centered. All centered. Okay. So here's a little bit of the map. This is essentially where the campaign's taken place so far. And hopefully you guys can see that a little bit. Why must Hall be white? Hey, Bobicus, how you doing? Why is it Whitehall? Because it can be. So this is just the point that we've gotten to so far. Again, if you guys are interested in catching up with where we're at in the show right now, there is a really fucking long playlist on my channel as well as Couchbump's channel that goes through all of it. We have 12 episodes of this right now. Most of them are 3-ish hours. So you can go through our very beginning. Again, this is my first DMing campaign, so be aware. And most of our players are first timers too. But yeah, so this is kind of the world that we're looking at right now. A lot of what's happening right now is up in the area called Erdrick. That's that city of Erdrick that we were talking about with Rob before he hopped off. So a lot of our work is being done up in here. Yeah. Other colored halls are offensive. I didn't get a high. Oh, hey, Duzen. How's it going? Sorry, I'm reading a lot of shit and trying to get through some stuff. How you doing, my dude? Sounds like Milestone XP? Yeah, it's a thing in DMG. Interesting. So essentially that's what it is. So I'm going to get back to the goals thing now, right? You like my face? Hey, thanks, bud. So there will also be group goals, right? To try to keep... There's always reasons for each hero to do their own thing there. And the more and more I play with more people, the more that people have hidden agendas that they always want to do. And you never have someone who's out for the group, right? Or it's very rare, at least in my experience. But like having group goals and being more than just combat, I think is important. It doesn't mean combat disappears either, right? Like combat is still important and combat is still things that you can do. But you have to remember that things that are combat-based may not be scaled to your level. You have to be aware that the fights that you're taking might be, dangerous if you're deciding to take random fights. You have to be careful, but I think it's a good idea. So I'd like to get the thoughts of chat as well as my players that are still in here, Sacrum and Couchbum. How am I liking DMing? I love it. I love it a lot. So again, if you feel like going to the YouTube channel, I do a lot of voiceover stuff when I play various different games or whatever. One of my favorites, where I really found my voice for different characters and doing different things, is when I was playing Night in the Woods. You can tell that like the first 7 episodes are really settling in, and then by the 7th episode, it clicks and I get it, and it works. And I've gotten pretty good at doing some good VO stuff. The full playthrough of Pyre is excellent in that regard, if I do pat myself on the back for that. Dang, I felt like it was directed towards me. No, CB. I mean, that was a situation that was technically it was a bad situation to be in. But it was also a social test, right? Like that was never meant to be a combat situation. That was meant to be a very social test. So yeah. For what it's worth, you have a very good presence as DM from what I've seen. That's special. Hey, thanks. I like that. The je ne sais quoi. I appreciate that, man. What if the goal is I want to punch X things? Duzen, that is an acceptable goal. Do it. That's acceptable. And so pursue that goal. I'll just have to decide what the difficulty of that experience is, right? A Genasi Queef Gross. Oh, man. That's what you say for je ne sais quoi? All right. Oh, you meant the hidden agenda thing, not the fight. You're not the only one with a hidden agenda, CB. PE17 Aubameyang. Wow. Aubameyang? I don't even know how to say. So type in the chat how you want your name pronounced. Otherwise, I'm calling you PE17 because that is much easier for me to read. But thank you. Welcome, and I appreciate the follow. It helps a lot. Bobicus, also welcome to the stream. I didn't get to say hi to you yet. Hi, bud. West Marches is very good for large groups with self-directed goals. We aren't a very large group, though. We have we currently have 4 PCs, and then me. But yeah, I understand that. That's a great part of playing in the group for 2 years. Get a lot of inside jokes for sure. Yeah. We have a good one with like our boy Ignis, the guy who didn't die. He likes to cut the heads off of dead things and post them places, which is interesting. Q, I thought you were gonna DM, my man. You haven't done much and not sure your players really like it? Maybe because the reason that most players are just look for something, so nothing really keeps them together. Because they all have individual motivation. So that's the big struggle of being a DM most of the time, right? Every character has individual motivation. Good. That's good. That's individuality. That's perfect. The thing is, you have to find a reason. Alba? Alba would be great. You're the first person to even attempt it. Well, fuck yeah, man. Welcome, Alba. Aubameyang. I like it. I will do my best to remember that. If I just call you PE17 because I read that first, I'm sorry, but I will try to do that. Alba. Nice. We're all a bunch of voyeurs at the couch. Oh, man. So you can tell Rel's character's got a lot of hidden agendas. He does, and we talk about them. And he has a lot of things that he wants to do that might not be easy. But they're things that he can put in his goal list, right? And attempt to achieve. And I don't mind that. The thing is, the world exists as it is, right? the world that we've created and that we're currently creating as a group, it exists, and there are certain limitations and people who will fight against some things that you might want to accomplish, right? So you have to try to balance that. So again, for you guys that are playing, CB, you're okay with all this. You just want to play the game. You make the rules. I fucking love it. I love it. Dude, I am stoked for your character. I really am. I had a lot of fun making that last night. For those of you who may have missed the previous character building that we were just doing, as well as the one from yesterday, I will be taking those and they will be up on the YouTube channel within the next 2 days. For those of you that are new here, the reason we are doing all this character creation is for the show DieFall. It airs 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays. I DM for that. My name is Joel. Hi. I run Runaway Robot. My boys in the chat right now, the Couch Bum, as well as Professor Saccharum, he did just go to bed, are both in the game. Also, Rel plays, as well as Bonus Stage Rob from Bonus Stage Heroes is in the game. We just finished up his character creation as well. For those of you who have missed it, last week, this Sunday, we had a loss of some life with our characters. And so we're doing basically a small time jump to figure out what we're going to do, and we're adding some new characters back into the game, and we're going to figure out how this character arc and how this campaign continues. So that's going to be fun. I think it is. It's going to be interesting. Behind? Kimmel, what are you talking about? Instead of asking or spying on them to see if they were thugs or whatever, the rogue just went in and started stabbing. Yes. And he killed one thug. His brother was behind and started screaming, "Petey, I'm dragging it." Why is this happening? Your cleric has been doing funeral services in your game as of late. Jesus. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting, right? Because when we ended the last session, the only one left alive is Ignis, and he's unconscious. He was the first to fall. He has no idea what has happened yet. It's crazy. So it's going to be... there's a lot of really good role-playing opportunities coming up, and I really think pushing our experience gain and how that happens and putting it more on the role-play acts is important. And I think it's beneficial. So we're going to play around with it. It's an experiment. We're going to play with it, and we're going to see how it works out. If it comes down to the fact that, like, all right, fucking fighting is the only way that these boys are ever going to get any type of experience ever, then we'll go back to that maybe. But I really do want to explore a more RP-centric experience gain and show. I think it's better for a show anyways, because there's always the balance of finding something that's entertaining to watch in D&D. Some people do love just the minutia of being in combat and the math and the dice rolls and stuff like that. I love that. I love that stuff. I love using the skills to kill things. Like, dude, let me loose, I'll murder a hobo some shit. But it's just like, it doesn't necessarily translate so well, especially if you're just like, I listen to Dungeons and Dragons shows all day long, like every day, all day long. And a lot of them are on YouTube, but I listen to them, right? Because I'm at work and I can't sit there and watch YouTube videos, so it's much like a podcast, and it's in the background, always happening. So having something that's descriptive or role-play-esque is definitely much more interesting to watch, I think. And so obviously you guys can disagree with that as much as you want, but this is where I'm coming from for that. So now every time someone dies without us asking questions, we scream Petey. Oh no. Yeah, Hooligan, this is a D&D nerd chat right now. I fucking love it. This is the best. Thank you guys, and I appreciate you all for coming. Thank you. Additionally, I don't only just do D&D stuff on the channel. I am a variety streamer when I'm not working my fucking ass off right now. So right now we're doing Monster Hunter. Lots of Monster Hunter World. So tomorrow, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, up to 11. I've definitely gone over time right now. I'll be playing Monster Hunter World if you guys would like to tune in for that. So it's a lot of fun. Additionally, I tend to put up schedules on my Twitter. That's at RunawayRobotYT, or the website, which is runawayrobot.tv. As a disclaimer, my work schedule has been absolutely bonkers for the last couple weeks, so I have not committed to actually posting schedules. So please either watch the Twitter, if you have a Twitter, please, or go ahead and follow the channel, trigger those notifications, and you'll know when I go live. Just that's the only thing I can offer right now. I'm working over 60 hours a week, and I can't commit to physical schedules right now. So hopefully you guys can understand. Yeah. Speaking of RP, backstory time. Oh shit, that's right. Okay, so hey Professor, welcome back, my dude. So you're coming in new, so you're willing to try whatever? Yeah, you don't really have a choice, do you? You do have a choice, my man. So we're way over time, but that's fine. So I did promise Couchbum I would do a dramatic reading of his background. I'm just going to read it off, so it's just going to stay over here on my side, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this and bring my face back up because you know you guys like my face more than anything else on the screen at any given time. Isn't that right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this chat over here, and I'm going to put Couchbum's backstory right here, and we're going to do a reading. Let me zoom out so I can see all of it. Oof, that's a lot of words. That is a lot of words. You ready? Oh, there is an underscore in the Twitch name. Yes. I'm sorry. I am currently arguing with Twitch to get me just Runaway Robot because the name Runaway Robot hasn't been used on this channel or active on this channel in over 5 years. So I'm trying to convince them to do so. But thank you. Yes, I appreciate that, Hooligan. Thank you very much. So here we go. What do I do for a living? I am a mechanical systems engineer for an aerospace company. Yeah. So here we go. Malicos, with his eyes closed and focused on his father's words. Feel the warmth of the flame, Mal, and feeling it grow inside you. Channel it. Malicos felt the skin on his arms rise in temperature as he opened his eyes. They were drawn to his hands, glowing red and orange, looking as if they were about to explode. The flame cackled and flared within his hands, and Malicos' eyes widened. I've done it! He exclaimed in excitement. His father, Joseph, placed his hand on Malicos' shoulder and encouraged him. Yes, you did. The small courtyard that the two were in is square in shape. Birds could be heard chirping above, and the light breeze could be felt blowing. The red and orange light emanating from the flame bounced around the courtyard as if the surroundings couldn't contain it. Joseph walked in front of Malicos and snuffed out the flame with a snap of his fingers. Mal, you did well. But this is only the beginning. You must learn to control the flame and conjure it at will. Joseph looked down at his half-elf son, Malicos, and with his hand still stretched outward, clenched his fist in frustration. Oh. And Malicos, with his hand still stretched outward, clenched his fist in frustration. Father, why can't you just be proud of me? He asked angrily. A smirk grew over Joseph's face as he looked at his son. Because you've done nothing that a child couldn't do, he teased. Malicos' anger grew as he threateningly raised his hand toward his father, and a familiar red and orange glow grew brighter as he shouted, I will show you what I can do! Joseph laughed at Malicos' defiance and cast Thunder Wave, knocking Malicos back and knocked him down to the ground, as well as shattering the surrounding chairs, plants, and pottery. Malicos coughed and looked up toward his father, who was now standing over him, offering a hand. Son, in time you will learn. He chuckled and helped Malicos up off the ground. I know that you're eager to learn as much as you can and as fast as you can, but there are no shortcuts, he said. But father, what is wrong with me? Why can't I learn as fast as the other kids? They're already using magic as if they've been doing it their whole lives. Malicos yelled in shame. Joseph placed his hand on Malicos' shoulder again and looked down at him. Mal, do not concern yourself with the progress of others. Focus on yourself and you will reach incredible heights. Malicos remembers that day well. He remembers the wisdom that his father attempted to bestow upon him. There are no shortcuts, he says to himself. His anger grew and he lashed out at nothing. Father is a liar! Malicos was standing in a round-shaped room with nothing but a table atop the table, a small black stone. His words echoed off the smooth, empty walls, and then there was a complete silence once again. Behind Malicos, the vault door was partially open. I can feel the power of this stone, though I haven't even touched it, he said to himself. Malicos stared at the stone in wonder. How do I unlock its power? He thought. He reached out to touch the stone, and just as his fingertip made contact, Joseph burst through the door, causing it to bang against the wall and bounce back, coming to close completely. No! Stop! He yelled, but it was too late. The power of the stone exploded outwards, knocking Malicos back into his father. Joseph yelled, What have you done? As he threw Malicos aside. He lunged forward towards the stone in an attempt to grab it. As his hand wrapped around the stone, he shouted in pain. Stone in hand, his arms shot back and his entire body stiffened and levitated. "Father!" Malicos exclaimed. Malicos reached out to grab his father, but another pulse exploded out from the stone, freeing it from Joseph's hand and pushing Malicos back against the vault door, slamming it shut. Malicos looked in on as the stone, which was now floating in the middle of the room, seemingly pulled his father inside. His father cried out in pain as his body was stretched thin and was sucked into the stone. Malicos once again rushed to try and grab his father, but it was too late. As he neared the stone, it shot into his hand as it had a mind of its own. His hand clasped around it, and darkness enveloped him. Shadowy smoke encircled Malicos's body, and then entered him through his ears, eyes, and mouth. He shrieked in horror as everything went black. Malicos awoke, standing alone in a closed vault. He looked around, trying to gain his bearings, and then down at his clenched fist. Upon opening his hand, he expected to see the black stone, but there was nothing. Malicos searched around the room, but the stone, along with his father, were gone. Damn, son! That's some good shit, CB! I like it. I like it. Round of applause for CB in the chat. Give me some claps. Claps! Claps! Good shit, dude. I like it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a little bit of a dramatic reading there. Wow. That was a one-page backstory, yeah. A little bit over 1 page. 300 pages of background. Old man, what's his face? It is elaborate. Yeah, it's nice. I like it. But it gives feeling. It gives feeling, right? Bullet points are definitely good. Yep. Feel like your characters and his failures or frustrations would mutter under his breath that phrase, "There are no shortcuts." Yeah, that could be like one of those quirks, one of those tics, Kim, like we were talking about earlier. Maybe that's just something that he happens to do or tell people. Yeah. All right, Professor, what's up? You think you have everything filled out for numbers and such? Whenever you have a moment, would you be able to double check that I have everything proper? Yes, but it probably won't be tonight, my man. I will do that later. Yeah, Professor Sacrum is the 4th player, Duzin. We did a little bit of an intro before. I will put the character creation in his intro up on YouTube probably tomorrow because, again, I have to be up in 5 hours for work, so let's do that. But yeah, we'll do that. Thanks for the claps, boys. Thanks, Babakis. Appreciate that. Yeah, good job, CB. You like to add to your backstory as you go along, just making up stories to the other players on the fly. So that's the thing. This is a backstory about his origin. It doesn't necessarily say what he's been doing, right? This just gives you a feeling about the character as a whole, and it gives me a piece to latch onto if there's ever anything else or any other motivations that we can find. You know? Yeah, it's really good. This one time at a wizard camp, yeah, but he could do that as well because not only did this happen, he was also a wizard in training too. Maybe he went to wizard camp as a kid. That was really cool. Thank you, CB. And thank you guys for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Again, if you have interest in the channel and you aren't following already, please do think about doing that. Trigger that little notification bell, let you know every time I'm going live because right now schedules are a little wonky. Or you can follow me on Twitter at RunawayRobotYT, and I will tweet every time I go live. As well as earlier in the day, I like to give a little bit of a heads up if I can figure out my fucking schedule. You know what I mean? So again, this show is DieFall. This is the D&D show run on this channel that I DM for. Some of the boys in the chat play this game, and we really, really want to see you there Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the continuation of the Aspects campaign. It should be good. I'm super excited about that shit. It's going to be really awesome. If you're interested in any other type of variety streaming stuff like that on this channel, we're playing Monster Hunter World right now. We'll probably get back to Persona 5 at some point. And there's always shit coming down the pipe, right? There's always stuff to play. And as much time as that I can get to do it, I do it. And I play these games, and I like to play and talk to you guys and have a whole lot of fun. And my favorite way of doing these things now, for 16 cents a day, you can support a streamer in need. Just 16 cents a day gets you a subscription to your favorite streamer's channel. Or if you have Amazon Prime and you can link your Amazon Prime account to Twitch, you get a free subscription every month. Just remember to re-up it every month. But thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for coming to the channel today. We'll be playing, so right now I can tell you, tomorrow night, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be playing Monster Hunter World. That is happening. I've already scheduled out. Fuck it. I'm going to be here. We'll talk schedules and stuff for the rest of the week afterwards. But thank you guys. For you guys in the chat that are in the game, think about your goals. Think about what you want to start pursuing. Talk to each other about backstories and stuff like that. Let me know. Let's get in the Discord. Let's talk this shit out. And it's going to be good. It's good. It's going to be good. So good night, everyone. And thank you again for hanging out with me. And hopefully see you tomorrow. Later.